scheduled to read next, but we've got another veteran poet here, Connie Koch, and she's called our Snake Lady, and she's going to tell you why. So welcome, Connie, to the floor.
Yes, I am that kind of girl. I'm known as the Snake Lady around these parts because I do have a bevy of snakes that live in my home. They ask about you daily. These snakes I take on the road and do programs for educational purposes, such as schools and anyone else who cares to ask me to visit. But that's not what I'm going to talk to you about tonight. Actually, I do have another hat that I'm going to wear this evening, and that takes me back about 30 years. I was born and raised here in Sedalia, and 30 years ago I was an agriculture teacher. Actually, I was the first female agriculture teacher in the state of Missouri, and along with that distinction, I could castrate baby pigs in 10 seconds. I have skills. And you know, that skill right there cost me a lot of dates. Oh yeah. But as an agriculture teacher, I taught a lot of little freshman boys in class. And one of the first things that they needed to do as freshmen, FFA, boys and girls actually, they needed to learn to say the FFA creed. And this was part of their journey through their FFA career. And they had to get past that first green hand experience. One of the things they had to do, as I mentioned, was learn and recite the FFA creed in front of the whole class. Well, this was not really easy for a lot of the students. But what I think I need to do to preface the poem that I wrote, called The Creed, is to read you the FFA creed. Because you know what? It says a lot for agriculturists and something that we could really relate to today. So with your permission, I'm going to recite and read this FFA creed first of all for you. It's written by E.M. Tiffany, and it was many, many years ago. This creed is still recited by FFA freshmen these days. It's called the FFA creed. And 30 years ago, those students made me learn it too. And I remember some of it, but I do not trust my memory so much. I believe in the future of farming with a faith born not of words but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists, and the promise of better days through better ways, even as the experience of former agriculturists have taught us. I believe that to work and live on a good farm, or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits, is pleasant as well as challenging. For I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life, and hold an inborn fondness for those associations which, even in the hours of discouragement, I cannot deny. I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently, think clearly, and with such knowledge and skills as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining, in the life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so, for others as well as myself. In less need for charity and more of it when needed, in being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. That is The Creed by E.M. Tiffany. Now this is The Creed by Connie Koch. The Creed. My first day of high school, man, this is my bag, and they tell me I've made it to my first day of ag. Boag is a challenge, I've heard others say, the classes, the teacher, but most FFA. I'll get me a jacket and stitch on my name, and like all the others, we'll look all the same. I'm ready, advisor, so what do you say? Hand over that jacket, I'll wear it today. Say, what is this business about learning a creed? Becoming a green hand? What is this indeed? It's how many verses and how many lines? And to learn it by memory, I've got how much time? Oh, come on, advisor, you got to be joking. On this bit of news, you just left me a-choking. All I want is a pen and that jacket to wear, not a ready-made reason to pull out my hair. You say that my brothers, they learned this, all three? Boy, this is sure one thing they didn't tell me. But I'll give it my best shot, and learn it I will. I'll practice and learn it until I, like my brothers, will be one of the best. And in blue and gold, so officially dressed, I'll be proud of my jacket and polish my pen. I'll know where I'm going, 'cause I'll know where I've been. The future of farming looks brighter indeed, 'cause now I'm a green hand and I've just said my creed. Well, I have another agricultural poem that I would like to share with you, because you know what? Agriculture's not looking too good these days, is it? And we have to really feel that our farmers and agriculturists are suffering out there. And I have such a respect for them, because my dad was a dairy farmer. And, you know, I talked to him last week and I said, man, I bet you're glad you don't have the girls right now. He said, we'd never make it. So how sad is that? But I have a poem here I'd like to share with you called Ode to the Farmer. Oh, tell me what a farmer knows of cowboy hats and denim clothes, of pickup trucks and atrazine, of planting corn and hauling beans, of Heston balers and bucking hay, of learning to farm a better way, of welding rods and bearings thrown, of low beef markets hitting home, of dairy heifers and John Deere rigs, of the FFA and feeder pigs. Oh, farmer, do you know of these, of planted crops in a late spring freeze, of herbicides in production, bulls and silos not a scarce half full, of weekend dates with a pig and sow, a foal and mare or a calf and cow, of paraquat and seeding drills, of working hard to pay the bills, of waking early and plowing late, of chisel plows and weather's fate. Oh, farmer, tell me, could you choose? If this way of life you stood to lose, would you give it up for an easier way, for $1 more or a shorter day? Lose out on watching your young herd grow, or finding a seat at the rodeo, or making decisions and making them strong, but making your own whether right or wrong. Oh, farmer, you are what you will be, a farmer for all eternity.